What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at the most expensive units in All-Star Tower Defense. Before we hop into it, make sure you use star code BLAM whenever buying Robux or Premium. It's free and helps support the channel. First up, we have Yoshikage Kira. Alright, one of the main villains in the JoJo series, part 4. Alright, let's take a look at his cost, guys. Alright, his sell price is he's unfortunately an unsellable unit, which is okay. So let's go see how much he costs to max. 1,000, 2,000, okay, nothing too major. Alright, 50k, not bad. 60k, 150k. Wow, guys. And his final upgrade jumps all the way to 4.3, and you need the special orb to have it unlocked. It's called the reset orb. Alright, let's buy that one. And bang, there you go, guys. Now, his damage is definitely kind of mid, but what makes him so special, of course, is the ability, which allows you to reset pretty much like any other ability. So we'll place down the next most expensive unit. His total cost is 4.73 million. So the next most expensive unit in the game is Diavolo. Alright, he's going to cost you a cool 5.2 million. Alright, the reason we're using him is so we can show you the ability of Yoshikage Kira. Alright, we can one. There we go. We can erase, and then we can use Yoshikage Kira. Alright, and then if we take a look, Diavolo should come back. Alright, there you go, and you get the ability right back, which is very, very useful in a lot of modes. And take a look at how sick that looks. Dang, man. Those are some sick effects. Alright, so this guy's 500,000 more expensive than this guy. Alright, next up we have Rimuru. Yes, guys. Now, Rimuru used to be the most expensive unit in the game straight up because you could place 8 of her. But we're not counting in placements, guys. We're just going to assume every unit is single placement for this video. If you want me to make an updated version where we factor in a placement count for the most expensive units, I can definitely do that. So what makes Rimuru so expensive is mainly her last ability as well. You can see these upgrades aren't that bad. Alright, and then we have $1 million, $1.5 million. So she's going to actually cost you a cool 5.4 million. And of course, guys, you can use her to steal souls, which basically... Oh, wow, they have a cutscene for this one too? What? I didn't realize that. Dang, that's actually pretty cool. So basically, she removes the effects. For example, some of the example effects are like removes powerfuls. I don't think she removes bosses. She removes cloners, decelerates, stuff like that. So she's a very useful unit for like, she's meta for gauntlet mode, but she has a little bit of some bugs though for gauntlet mode, so it's not quite perfect. All right, next up we have our boy Sid. All right, Sid's gonna cost us only 5,000 more dollars than Rimuru, but it is technically more, so we have to put Sid on the top of Rimuru. All right, now what makes Sid so great? Honestly, he's probably one of the most goated units in the game. I'm not gonna lie. Not only is he busted OP for story mode, you can tell by these really, really cheap upgrades that do millions of damage. He's also bleed, which is the best effect in the game. And of course, he does have a very nice ability as well. And it gets even better when you max him out for, again, 5.4 million with atomic all range. He's gonna completely nuke the map. So if we go spawn in a bunch of enemies and we take a look at our damage, bang, guys, you can see we 30 billion. He's doing like, I think it's like 6.5 billion per hit or something crazy. So he's a very busted OP unit, guys. Also one of the most expensive, but he's not that bad. I'm not gonna lie. All right, next up we have Infernal Enigma. All right, this guy is, I think, the current most expensive unit straight up, because if you take a look at it, you can actually place 6 of him. I mean, all 8 of him. So that means if you take his total price, all right, and we take a look at him maxed out, he's actually costing 6.5 million, and of course you multiply that by 8, and that's a pretty dang big number. So I do believe he's technically the most expensive unit in the game, but for this list we're only counting single placements because a lot of people like that for some reason. So for Infernal Enigma, he's doing insane damage, and he's a rupture effect as well. Another one of the best effects in the game. I think it actually technically might be the best effect in the game. I'm not sure if it's better than bleed yet. I haven't quite done the math, but I'm pretty sure bleed was better. So we'll have to see. And then after that, we have another unit that's very similar, but instead of rupture, we have Obito, and Obito does black flames. Now, black flames is basically the same as rupture, if I remember correctly, but this guy actually is going to cost you slightly more. All right, I believe he costs $12,000 more, so barely anything more. But honestly, I would probably go with this guy over Obito, but it's a pretty close, because this AoE is very nice, especially if you give him like any sort of orb. So pretty nice. All right, let's go to the next most expensive units. All right, guys. Next up, we have a unit that not a lot of people use because they usually evolve him into his 7-star form. We have Vegu. Now, this guy is going to cost you a cool $7 million, guys. You can see that last upgrade costed 6.54. Now, one thing about him is he is technically the most expensive unit in the game because you can actually place him infinite times. All right, because whenever you use Final Bomb Lotion, we take a look, it's going to make him disappear, and that means you can actually place another one of him. All right, bang. So technically, guys, he costs an infinite amount of money, which is fairly interesting. All right, of course, guys, his last upgrade is ridiculously expensive. Look at this. I don't know why, but like, it's not even that good, and it costs 6.4 million. Like, that's ridiculous. Oh, and you can actually just, like, as you're doing the effect, you can just keep doing more too, which is pretty cool. And you can put it on auto activate. What the heck? That doesn't even make any sense. So there you go, guys. He costs $7 million, but could cost infinite. All right, so next up, guys, at a cost of $7.129 million, we have Stampede or Mob. Now, this guy is very, very good unit. Unfortunately, his DPS isn't quite there, but he's very cheap for his ability. I believe some people were able to max him as well in certain modes. Yeah, like you actually have a chance of maxing him out in modes where there's like 19 waves or something. So he's actually a pretty good unit. If you're doing it in like with multiplayer, though, if you're soloing it, it's gonna be a little bit harder to max. But Stampede is very good, and of course he does a lot like Sid. He has that ability where he just does insane amounts of damage. You can just see our damage just shot up to 30 billion right there. And he actually has a really high damage, but unfortunately, since he's a single placement, it's not actually that great. But at least it's a all right, here we go, guys. So Broly, unfortunately, he's not that good because he got nerfed, but he does cost a cool $8.5 million, which is fairly decent. He also had the biggest cost decrease, I think, of any in the game. Back in the day, he used to cost 10 million. Now he only costs 8.5. But he's no longer meta because there's just better units out, but he's still pretty decent. All right, we got to speedrun this because people are rushing me. All right, next up, we got Kakashi. Oh, wait, whoa. Did you guys see that? That was $9.6 million upgrade. I didn't realize that was like that. But he was the second Susanoo kind of unit after Meta Knight, like that was controllable. And they did actually give him a pretty big buff back in the day, which was pretty sick. So it's hard to complain with that. Overall, a pretty great unit, guys, not going to lie. I'd probably put him... He used to be good, but again... look at that damage, guys. Yeah, it's just not good anymore. Oh, well. All right, next up, we have Gilgamesh. All right, he used to only cost $1 million, but they did give him a buff that made him cost $10 million. So they increased his cost by $9 million, but it's worth it because he actually does decent damage now. But unfortunately, he actually sucks because there's just like better units with better DPS out there. So unfortunately, yeah, he has some cool effects like so. And he does a good amount of damage, but that SPA just kills him. And they nerfed it, so he doesn't even work well with the orbs anymore either. So he's like not worth it giving the Fire Rage Orb. And then he does have a counterpart unit that's basically the same version. It's Tony Stark Beyond. They're very similar units, except this guy costs 11 million instead and does way more damage. All right, if we switch his attack patterns, I think this is his final pattern. Oh wait, no, 30. Okay, let me try that. Okay, he's basically just slightly more damage with a way faster SPA. Very, very good unit, guys, and the most expensive unit to place down at 10.9 million. All right, we got to speed run this, guy, so let's go take a look at the real most expensive units in the game. All right, we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 most expensive units now. And yeah, first up, we have Kura Origami, who's actually a free unit from the Prestige system. All right, Kura is a pretty decent unit. He's one of the best units for Gauntlet mode to easy solo. He's going to have a placement cost of $5 million and then one upgrade of $7 million. And look at that, guys, 492 million. That's the most ever on a unit. All right, very, very good. But unfortunately, you guys can see that SPA is 500. So that's kind of a big, pretty high SPA, not going to lie. Here we go. Let's go write those names down. Bang. He's basically light Yagami, but better. Very good unit. And he has a cool blessing, too. All right, next up, guys, we have Ichigo. Now, Ichigo, unfortunately, sucks. I don't recommend Ichigo. His DPS is just really low for his price. But he's going to cost a cool $12.5 million, guys. That's insane. Dang, guys. Take a look at that. And of course, guys, if you awaken him, he's only going to be able to hit air units then. So overall, guys, kind of a mid unit. All right, next up, guys, we have our boy Guts as the top 3 most expensive unit at a cost of $13.1 million. This guy's just busted OP, and he has so many upgrades. It's crazy. They did actually nerf him, guys, and make him more expensive in the end. Look at that, $5 million for that last upgrade. I don't understand what makes that last upgrade so good. I think it's because it works with the other guy or something like that. I think you need it for Blood Moon, that ability, but other than that, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's only worth it to buy then if you have Blood Moon. But still, look at that, guys. 12.2 for 5 SPA, and of course Rupture, which is one of the best effects in the game. All right, that takes us to our second most expensive unit in the game, guys, the new Kirito. All right, Kirito is basically LB meta, I believe. Very, very good unit, guys. But look at that cost, guys. Total cost of $14 million is insane. Insane. But you can at least sell him, though, which is nice. And he's just a very good unit. And, of course, guys, he has critical hits. So his damage is actually way higher than 32.9. So it's like, technically, I think it's closer to 50 million average. Or maybe even closer to 60 million average. All right, next up, guys, we have our most expensive unit in the game. Got to speed run this because I have to go zoom somewhere. We got Alien Boss with 81.6 million. But look at that, guys. He costs $9.5 million. That's crazy. And if we take a look at his last upgrade, look how expensive that is. Not $10 million? Dang, man. $10 million upgrade. The most expensive upgrade in the game for the most expensive unit. But that damage and SPA combo is insane. And he's actually the highest damage. He's the best air unit, guys, for DPS in the game as well. So he's busted OP. Very highly recommended, but he's going away very soon, guys. So if you don't get him before the next update, he's going to be gone. All right, and we're not sure when he's coming back, but they did confirm he will be coming back eventually. But you guys have seen with the Stardust banner, you have no idea if you're going to have to wait months or maybe even 6 months to get him back. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and peace.